Findhorn's sacred dance is a unique blend of the philosophy and beliefs of the Findhorn Foundation and the energy and creativity of Professor Bernhard Wosin, who brought the first set of traditional European dances to Findhorn in 1976. Bernhard wanted to recapture the everyday power of traditional dance, which linked the dancers with the spirit and with the earth. At Findhorn, we concentrate on self-development and awareness, mutual support and growth of the group, and consciously creating an energy through dancing together to give to the planet. Over the years, I have found that healing is the predominant quality which we use for our own good and for that of the planet. Sacred dance was a blend of the father, Bernhard Wosin, and the mother, Findhorn Foundation, and that created the baby, Findhorn Sacred Dance. But for me, it's all about energy, bringing an energy down and out of the dances, so that with each dance we manage to feel into the minds, if you like, of other countries, other cultures, and that helps us to understand them better. King of the Fairies is one of Bernhard's choreographies, and it's about, now it's difficult to know which of the bits I put in and which of the bits that were there in the beginning. To start with, we're walking around a lake, and to me that represented humanity. And then we went in for the water lapping. We've had the people around the lake, and then we have the plants, the plant life. So you've got human life and plant life, and that's going round representing, as Peter said, the roots of trees. It starts getting windy, so the swans leave the lake and fly off towards the sun, and then we celebrate the sun at the end. Now there's one bit where the feathers come off the swans, or one feather, and drifts slowly down to earth. And then there's another version that says it's autumn leaves, but I quite like the feather. It's more romantic. He created it when he was in the Cluny Hill woods, and this piece of music came into his head, and he started creating a dance, and that's been very popular for years and years. I would start with a circle of names and where they came from, and holding hands, because some people are reluctant to hold hands, but that was how we started. And then we would start with always we used to start with a cos. That was the introductory dance, always. And some people say that they don't do it anymore because they say it's got boring. But to me, it can't get boring, because it's always a different group, or if it's the same group, it's the next day. And so things have happened to that person in that day that have changed them slightly. So it's always a new feeling in the group. And it really does bring people together. And then you have a few quiet dances building up to lively couples dances or men's dances, and then slowly down again to the end when there's a dance of a meditative dance, just to finish off with.
So how do you remember anything about, you know, your creation process and healing and wholeness, or any of the
Yes,
others?
well, some of them just came to me. For example, when I was teaching in France, I was given some music on the last day of the workshop, no, second to last, and said, could you make up some steps for this? And I said, no way, you know, we finish tomorrow. But I went back to my room, put the kettle on, danced around the middle of the room for a little while, and it was there. The dance just came straight away. There was Mykonos, which people seem to love. The origin of that, as far as I was concerned, was the procession down the street with the bull to be sacrificed, and then the sacrifice of the bull. But later I discovered that it meant, I discovered inside myself that it meant walking along, turning to the centre and throwing all the thoughts and things that you've kept up with all your life from your parents, from learning, which you don't believe in anymore, throwing them into this fire, sacrificial fire, and purifying it. So that was the bit people really enjoyed, this throwing away all this stuff. You put one foot across the other, which is the typical Greek pose, and that's saying, this is me, this is all I am, nothing else. And then you suddenly realize that there is something else. There's soul, the spirit. So you go in and gather soul, and now you're more than just physical. And you carry on.
So what about the step back? Because then you come out of the circle and then there's one step back.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you do
Oh, that's right. The one step back is because you've done 3 forward and 1 back. And that means you never go back or suffer as much as you go forward in life. So don't worry about little upsets in your life, because they're never as big as going forward.
The name of the music is called Manusis, but the name of the dance is called Perpetual Motion. Bow and 1, 2, 3, bow and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, turn 2, 3, 4.
So how did the name Sacred Dance come about?
Bernard, when he came here, decided to call it Sacred Dance. But when he learned a bit more English or heard it talked about in German a bit more, he realised that wasn't what he meant. Sacred is secret, and that meant only a few people, only the elite, know about it and pass it on to the lower people, like priests. And holistic, he would rather have said, holy, which everybody feels. So it was too late. We tried to change it, but it was far too late. Everyone knew it as sacred dance, so that's what it stayed. And then when people began to learn it at Findhorn and then take it out, they felt that they weren't going to get any people coming along because it said sacred and people would get the wrong idea. So they changed it to circle, and circle dance was all around Britain then. It still stayed sacred in other countries, funnily enough. But then, I don't know who did it, but somebody joined the sacred and the circle together, so it was sacred circle dance, which was rather nice. And in most places it's been that ever since. So from that one little mistake in English, it became sacred. But to me, I think it's sacred in its way anyway, because what we're doing is not just dancing physically, we're dancing with our minds and our emotions. We're dancing with all of us. That's what I feel. And we join together with the earth, and I explain it as seagulls or some birds that stamp on the ground to bring the worms up. And I feel when we're doing certain steps, we're bringing some energy up into ourselves that we can pass out at the end of the session. And similarly, we bring in the spirit energy. Doesn't matter what religion you are, it's other than you. And they all merge, and you should get a feeling of this culture of the other people. And yeah, it's very easy to, for me. And I know a lot of other people have too in workshops, because they either burst into tears or have some other experience. For example, one woman couldn't do a basket weave dance, and so I asked her why she couldn't do it, because it was simple, and she said it was because she didn't feel safe when she was intertwined with other people. And gradually it came out that she had been shut in a cupboard when she was bad in the past, and this was the same feeling that she had. And so gradually I weaned her back in, and she got rid of that. And so many people have done that, so many people's lives have changed through doing sacred dance, that I feel it's extremely important to, I was going to say do it properly. I will say do it properly. Which means continuing to acknowledge the rest of the people in the group and join together to feel the energy that comes through and give it all out at the end to the sick, the hungry, send out peace, send out healing to the planet and to all the people on it. And I'm pretty sure it does some good. Only a tiny bit, but the more we do it, the bigger it gets.